Let's discuss emotional appeal. Aristotle referred to emotions as pathos. And of course, emotions are intended to make the listener feel sad or angry, afraid, happy, proud, sympathetic, reverent, irreverent. There are many emotions, and of course, just as many subjects to go along with those emotions that stir emotional appeal. There's basically three ways to create emotional appeal. You can do it through emotional language. You can create emotional appeal through the development of vivid examples. And you can definitely create emotional appeal when the speaker speaks with sincerity and conviction. Now we're going to take a look at emotional. In this example of what many call flowery language, the underlying words and phrases have strong emotional, powerful appeal and produce the correct effect that the speaker hopes to produce. The promise of America sparkles in the eye of every child. Their dreams are the glittering dreams of America. When those dreams are dashed, when innocent hopes are betrayed, so are the dreams and hopes of the entire nation. It is our duty, our sacred duty, to give all children the chance to learn and grow and to share equally the American dream of freedom, justice, and opportunity. Perhaps a better way to generate emotional appeal is through vivid examples, vivid imageries, and images. What follows is an example from a speech where the speaker was addressing the fact that malaria continues to be one of the biggest problems facing Africa, as many die from malaria epidemic, and this epidemic continues to be worse. So I want you to shut your eyes and I want you to build this image that is being described in your mind. Nathan was only 5 years old when the fever struck. At first, no one knew what was wrong. No one knew that parasites inside his body had infected his red blood cells. No one knew these cells were clumping together, choking the flow of blood through his body and damaging his vital organs. No one knew his kidneys would soon fail and seizures would begin. No one knew he would wind up in a coma. The parasites in Nathan's body came from a mosquito bite, a bite that gave him malaria. And Nathan is not alone. The World Health Organization tells us the horrible truth. In Africa, a child dies from malaria every 30 seconds. We need to do something to assist in stopping this terrible disease. Now open your eyes. This story should be very compelling, and you should be moved to some action, as the image that was painted was terrible. The story of Nathan and his tragic fate gives this speech emotional impact and brings it home to listeners in a very personal sense and a very personal term. Finally, speak with sincerity and conviction. The strongest source of emotional power is your conviction and sincerity. All your emotion laden words and examples are but empty trappings unless you feel the emotion yourself. And if you do, your emotions will communicate themselves themselves to the audience through everything you say and do, not only through your words, but also through your tone of your voice, the rate of your speech, your gestures, and your facial expressions. One other point needs to be made. There is no question that emotional appeals can be abused by unscrupulous speakers for detestable causes and reasons. But emotional appeals can also be well wielded by honorable speakers for notable causes. For instance, Churchill's speeches to arouse the world against Nazism, Martin Luther King's many speeches to call for racial justice. While it is not always possible to draw a line between reason and emotional appeal, if you think back to the story of 5-year-old Nathan, who was infected with malaria, this story has strong emotional appeal. We have to ask ourselves, is there anything unreasonable about it? Or is it irrational for listeners to respond to it by donating to an anti-malaria cause? Is it illogical to be compassionate for victims of natural disasters, or angered by corporate wrongdoers, or fearful about cutbacks in student aid or educational opportunities? Reason and emotion many times worked hand in hand. If you have any questions, please email them to me or text them, or wait until our next class meeting and we can discuss them. Thank you. Have a great day.